I was scrolling through Reddit when I stumbled upon this story of a boy named Jake who was home alone and was kidnapped. This story shocked me and made me realize that you should never leave your child home alone, no matter what, especially not late at night. I hope that any parents watching this will learn from this. Anyways, here is the story. I'll never forget the night Jake disappeared. It still haunts me, and I can't help but feel a sickening mixture of guilt and fear every time I think about it. Let me tell you the story from my perspective, as one of his friends who witnessed everything unfold in real time. It was a typical Friday night, and Jake's parents were out at some party. They told him they'd be back by 1 a.m., so he had the house to himself. Naturally, Jake decided to hop on Fortnite with us. There were 5 of us in the party: me, Tom, Jake, Mike, Sarah, and Alex. We were having a blast, winning a couple of games and talking trash like we always did. The clock struck midnight, and we were still going strong. Jake's house was quiet, and he seemed totally relaxed. We were in the middle of an intense match when suddenly, Jake's voice got a little shaky. "Did you guys hear that?" he asked, sounding genuinely puzzled. "Hear what?" I responded, focused on the game. "Some banging noise," Jake replied. "I think it's coming from the windows." We all paused for a moment, listening through our headsets, but none of us heard anything unusual. "Maybe it's just the wind," Sarah suggested. "Yeah, man, probably nothing," Alex chimed in. Jake shrugged it off, and we continued playing. But after a few minutes, Jake spoke up again, more alarmed this time. "There it is again. It's louder now." His voice had that edge of fear that immediately put all of us on high alert. We started hearing faint thudding noises coming through Jake's mic. "Are you messing with us?" Mike asked, trying to keep things light. "No, I'm serious," Jake said. "I'm gonna go check it out. Hold on." We heard Jake put down his controller and get up. Through his mic, we could hear him moving through his house, opening doors, and then the creak of a window being opened. The noises stopped for a while, and Jake came back slightly out of breath. "I couldn't see anything. Maybe it was an animal or something," he said, trying to reassure himself more than us. We all tried to get back into the game, but it was clear Jake was rattled. We kept chatting, trying to distract him, but he kept muttering about the noises. Then, it happened again. This time, the banging was loud and persistent, echoing through Jake's mic like a nightmare. "Jesus, it's really loud now," Jake said, his voice trembling. "I'm going to check the front door." We heard him walk away again, his footsteps echoing on the hardwood floors. There was a long silence, and we all waited, holding our breath. Then, out of nowhere, we heard Jake scream, "Help! Oh my God, help!" His scream was cut short, replaced by a series of muffled sounds. The next thing we knew, there was a loud crash, followed by the unmistakable sound of a struggle. "Jake? Jake, what's happening?" Sarah shouted into her mic, panic rising in her voice. There was no response, just more sounds of a struggle, then silence. Absolute, terrifying silence. Jake's mic went dead, and the call disconnected. We all sat there, stunned and horrified. It felt like the world had stopped. "We need to call the police," Alex said, his voice shaky. Mike was already on it, dialing 911 while the rest of us tried to process what had just happened. Sarah managed to get in touch with Jake's parents, who were still at the party. They rushed home immediately. The police arrived at Jake's house within minutes, but by the time they got there, it was too late. Jake was gone. The front door was wide open, and there were signs of a struggle, but no sign of Jake or whoever had taken him. The next few hours were a blur. We stayed on the call, each of us in our own homes, feeling utterly helpless as the police searched the house and the surrounding area. Jake's parents were devastated, their cries of anguish audible through Sarah's phone as she stayed on the line with them. Days turned into weeks, and the investigation turned up nothing. No fingerprints, no DNA, no witnesses. It was like Jake had vanished into thin air. The police tried their best, but they had no leads, no suspects. It was like something out of a horror movie, Except it was all too real. Jake was never seen again. His disappearance became one of those unsolved mysteries that haunt small towns forever. Every time I pass by his house, I can't help but look at the windows, half expecting to see him standing there waving at me. But he's gone, and all we have left are the memories of that awful night. I don't play Fortnite much anymore. None of us do. It's too painful, too full of reminders of Jake and the horror we all experienced. I can still hear his screams sometimes echoing in my mind, a chilling reminder of the friend we lost and the terror that stole him away.